Hello, my friends. Welcome to the third episode of our series about spiritual science. My name is Carlos Guterres, and I'm really happy to welcome to our journey to unveil the mysteries about this amazing journey we call spirituality. Today, I share with you the third episode of the second year of our series. And before to begin, I'd like to tell you that during the first year, throughout the 12 episodes that I present you, I share the foundations about spirituality. So now, based on what we present during the first year, we can go deeper and deeper to unveil amazing things, amazing mysteries that are so important for those who were on this journey. The topic we'll talk today will be about the field of manifestation. So, the field of manifestation is something really important to understand where we are on this journey. So, we may say that we have two important things to understand, and sometimes we believe both are the same. But today I will show you that they are opposite things. I'm talking about life as one thing, and life manifestation as the other thing. And they are totally opposites. And you need to understand why. Life is directly associated to the word depth. And when you begin to understand the meaning of the depth, we are beginning to find a way to understand what is eternity. Manifestation of life is superficial and ephemeral. So when we are focused only on the manifestation of life, we are in a way to perceive everything around us in just two dimensions. You know, everything we can say that are manifested, it's manifested through three dimensions: height, height, and depth. But you know, in our daily life, we're so focused in this superficial thing that we call manifestation of life that we miss the most important thing, that is the depth. In fact, what is manifested not through three dimensions, but four dimensions. We need to consider the fourth dimension. Last century, Albert Einstein brought this amazing truth. Manifestation depends not on three dimensions, but four dimensions. We have three dimensions of space, but the fourth dimension is time. What does it mean? It means that, for example, this bottle of water I have in my hand is real, is manifested because of high, wide, and depth. But this bottle is manifested today. Maybe 2 years ago, this bottle was still oil and water, and maybe in the future, this bottle will become trash or will be melted to create another plastic thing. So time is important to situate, to give us a situation location where the manifestation is on a specific moment. So our journey, our spiritual journey, needs to understand physical elements to go beyond those three-dimensional manifested world and understand that we were created in multiple dimensions, not only four. But because we're here manifested, we need to understand the basics. And the basics is to find the differentiation between life manifestation and pure life. The surface and the depth. This is what we are talking about now. Surface and the depth seek to attract our attention. Our personality or ego, if you prefer, leaves focus in the surface and the ephemeral. This is the focus of our ego. Our ego is really focused in the appearance of things. Now, our consciousness is our spirit. Our consciousness, when it awakens, seeks the depth where eternity is. Eternity is where we came from, and also our destiny. So we are divided between those two perspectives. The surface, the first of all things, and the depth of all things. The surface is deeply related to our ego, and the depth is deeply related to our spirit. Our spirit, our consciousness, understand that everything is energy. And that comes from a universal source, the universal source of all energy, because the energy creates the universe. But our ego is concerned with material world, a very superficial perception of the existence. You know, back to this amazing genius, Albert Einstein. He proved that everything is energy with the famous equation. Energy is matter accelerate the square of speed of light. He proved that everything is energy, but the energy can be expressed on this universe in two ways. Pure energy, like you have light as an example, or matter. Matter, we may say, is a frozen energy. When the energy loses speed, becomes matter. When you accelerate matter to the high speed of a square of the speed of light, matter becomes energy again. So this is what our spirit understands. We are energy. Sometimes we are manifested in matter, but sometimes we return back to pure energy. And this is a thing that our ego cannot understand because it's so focused in the material world, it cannot understand nothing about the energetic world. Our ego, our personality, is subject to the manifestation of life. And it's attached to matter. That is why our ego fears death. On the other hand, our consciousness or our spirit understands to be eternal because it is permeated by the essence of life. The fear we feel is not our own, but transmitted by our ego. This fear takes the form of something we call doubt. So, it's our ego that is constantly telling me, you think life is eternal, but when you saw things dying, how can you explain it to me? Because our ego is so focused in the material level, the life manifestation cannot understand that the essence continues beyond this dissolution of matter. So here we have the great misconception, and this is generated by our ego. The attachment to matter is motivated by our ego or personality. Throughout life, the human being is absorbed and overwhelmed by issues of the material world, such as health, employment, and the whole range of our possessions. My things, my home, my family, my car, my money. This is the major focus of our ego. So the great mistake is that the matter that we know occupies less than 4% of everything that exists in the entire universe. And if we add the known matter to the unknown matter that represents 21% of the universe, I'm talking about dark matter that the scientists know that exists because they calculate it, but they don't found a way to reach the dark matter yet. It's proved mathematically, but it was not reached by our science. So if you add the known matter, 4% to the dark matter, we have 25%. We're still talking about a small portion of the universe because the major portion of the universe, 75%, is made by pure energy. The dark energy plus the energy we know. So, as you can see, in the entire universe, the major part is energy. The smallest part is matter. So, this thing that attracts the attention of our ego is the smallest part of the entire universe. Our spirit understands this. And that's the reason our spirit is focused to follow the journey guided by the pure energy. So the manifestation of life is transient experience. Attachment to matter densifies us and distances us from spirituality, which is why our passage through manifestation is temporary and cyclical. So according to this point of view, death, this transition that we fear so much, is a blessing to remember that we are created in the lightness of the higher dimensions, where we just have energy. All density that we accumulate during life is released with the end of this experience in the field of manifestation. With death, the manifestation of life ends, but life itself continues. So the field of manifestation is the school of overcoming, and it is fundamental in our journey. In the subtle dimensions, we have access to information. Transforming information in knowledge depends on our journey through the field of manifestation. So this is really important. When we are in the non-manifest dimensions, we have access to all information we need. But pure information without experiment this in the physical levels, stay as just information. So to transform information in knowledge, we need to live the experience. That's the reason the manifestation here is so important. So the big question is that we forget that we are much more than this physical body. And everything we perceive with our five senses, what we are is beyond our five senses. So our attachment to all that we believe we have is an illusion and a distraction, because they are simply learning tools. So this life, manifested life, the incarnated life, is a field to experiment the information, to transform it in knowledge. The attachment is a distraction. So when you're attached to all those things that surround us, we are missing the point. And many people is trying to seek in eternity in the field of manifestation. And it's imprison and densify us. This is really interesting. Even the most attached to the matter, the atheist people who don't believe in the other thing except what the five senses can show us, even those people are looking for eternity. But they're looking for eternity here in the field of manifestation. So they try to become eternal, producing an important legacy. For example, a scientist that discovers something important will connect his name to that invention or that discovery. And this is a way this person believes is connecting to eternity. Or, powerful kings in the past creates huge monuments like the pyramids, looking for a way to reach eternity. But this is the wrong way, because they are trapped in the manifested world. They are trapped in the three-dimensional world. And even in the moment they believe that monument will stay forever, we know that time will destroy everything. Nothing that is manifested stays forever. So this is maybe a great misunderstanding on this journey. So the spiritual awakening invites us to shift the focus of our attention, to stop the focus on the surface and begins to look for the depth. Materialism and consequent attachment keeps us trapped in the superficiality of the field of manifestation. The awakening of our consciousness invites us to seek the depth of things. And this depth is presented in several perspectives. So when you think about the depth of things, we have many different perspectives. So for example, talking about the multiple perspectives of depth, we have the perspective of the depth we relate to the subtle planes. And it's represented when you look above. For example, in a night sky, you look above, you can see stars. The stars are huge suns that are far, far away from us. It's hundreds of light years or more. And so you can understand the depth of the sky. This depth we consider infinite. And it's represented here on Earth, for example, by the domes of the temples or cathedrals. When you go to a cathedral and look to the dome, and that perspective invites us, is calling our mind to look for the infinite, to look for the depth above. But you have another depth, the depth below, the center of the planet, or the abyss, abyssal trench of the oceans. They represent the depth below. And you know, in the Greek and Roman mythology, they believed after we die, we go to the depth below, the inferior world. So, you know, this idea, this Christian idea that if we are good, you go up, we go above to the heaven, and if we're bad, you go down below to the inferior world. This understanding came with the Christian teachings, because the ancient teachings, Romans and Greeks, they believed that good or evil, we go to the inferior world. But there's a place for the good souls, they call the Elysian fields, or for the bad, the Tartarus, or the hell. So we have this perspective, the depth above, the depth below, but the most important thing is the depth of the inner universe. And it's represented by the meditative plunge into the temple of our heart. So we talk about this kind of meditation on the chapters number 8 and 9 of the first year of our series. So this is the most important depth we need to seek, is the inner depth, the inner universe, represented by our spiritual heart. So the multiple depths presenting us a possibility to find a common denominator. The cosmos is the collective depth. Everybody can look above and see the night sky full of stars. The bottom of the oceans of the center of the earth represents the material depth, but it's collective too. The center of our heart is the individual depth. And when we use this amazing tool we call meditation, we can find the common denominator that integrates all the three perspectives of the depth. So this is the key. When we are on this amazing journey we call spiritual science, we need to use this powerful tool, meditation, and go deep inside our depth to integrate the material depth, the collective depth, and our individual depth. And this is where our spiritual journey will really begin. So on the next episode, we'll continue to talk about this subject. On the next episode, we'll go deeper to understand the meaning of life and what is this we call manifestation of life. So now on next episode, we'll go deeper and deeper, looking for the depth of everything. So if you liked my presentation today, don't forget to give a like on this video. And if you're interested in the previous episodes, you can take a look in my channel on YouTube. Just look for my name, Carlos Guterres, and you'll find all the episodes of this series. And if you want to be informed for the future episodes, you can subscribe to my channel. So thank you so much for being with me, and we'll see you on the next chapter. Bye.